Good morning from a very misty but cosy cottage. Gosh, there's something about the weather when it's like this. Did you hear the owl? Cosy view inside. Let's start the day. So here we are back in the cottage's entrance hall. It's you'll know it also as my cosy book nook, but the front door is there, so it is officially the entrance hall. But I thought I'd give you a little tour of the bits and bobs that I've got in here, because so much of it is thrifted or vintage that I thought you might like to see my little finds. So I'll start here with this rather large cast iron candelabra. So this is one of my favourite things actually. It is enormously heavy and it's this beautiful sort of squirrely, it's the official term for it, cast iron candelabra. Or is it even a candelabra? I don't think it is. I think it's just more of a very tall, big candlestick. It was given to me by a friend. At the time, I lived in a farmhouse. It was a big farmhouse. It was incredibly windy and cold. I mean, it was nonsense. The sitting room had 2 inglenook fireplaces at either end. That's how difficult it was to heat. And we spent the Beast from the East year there, and I have never been so cold in a home in all of my life. I don't do well with cold, and it was horrendous. But it's so solid. It doesn't necessarily fit this cottage, but I absolutely love it. I put it outside with lights wrapped around it, because obviously the candles will blow out immediately. And I use it in the dining room at Christmas just to give some extra light. So it's definitely still in use, and I love it to bits. It's perfect. This little posy here, I'll turn the camera around. It's a bit more of a posy. It's much more of a sort of a bouquet in a vase. This I actually purchased from Autumnal Antiques Market. Autumnal is one of my favourite places to go. It can be quite expensive, so you have to A, have an idea, I think, what you're going there to buy, B, have a budget, and C, not get totally overwhelmed by all that's on offer. I just get like overloaded with just overstimulated. It's like when I go into the supermarket without a shopping list. And I've left Autumnal Antiques Market having bought nothing on several occasions because it's just all too much. I just get exhausted and want to go home. But on this occasion, I had a very clear idea of what I was buying. I had the palette that I was buying. So I just looked for things that matched my list, and I didn't leave that path. So this chair here, this is one of my favourite things I've ever picked up when visiting charity shops. This is an old school chair. It's really quite chunky and solid. I've had it for about 15 years. I love the colour and I love the shape, and it just sits there by the door quite nicely, and I've got some books on it. I've put this print here because I need to remind myself to hang it. That's really the only reason. My curtains in this space are peony and sage, and they were handmade for another house that I lived in. And they've got quite a pretty print. They're very delicate. I think they were in a bedroom at another house. Yeah, they're just very pale pink with a sort of a faded floral print on them. This table here is a little round table with barley twist legs. I'm not sure. I painted it just using a farrow and ball sample, a blue one. The dark green lampshade is from Pookie. I hate the lamp itself and will change it as soon as possible. My books are mostly thrifted. There's a Dickens there and an old Winnie the Pooh. Those dried flowers are from the White Company. They need to go. They've been there for far too long. And then the picture there I bought at a market somewhere. The wingback chair is actually a Parker Knoll, which is a really good make of chair. Very, very comfortable. I'm in two minds about the sort of the fabric, the print on there. Part of me wants to change it. I've got two of them actually. I bought them on Facebook Marketplace. So I may change one of them. I'd like a sort of a check, a tartan on there, on at least one of them. I've got the other one upstairs. I've got more thrifted books there. I've had this copy of Little Women for many, many years. She's gone out of focus. Now this I'm leaving here because this is just from IKEA. I'm going to change it. I'm going to fill it with some Halloween-y goodies. The two, they're almost like sconces, aren't they? But they're sort of candlesticks, candle holders. I got those from a fair in Midhurst a couple of years ago. And then this oil painting here was bought in Petworth. This wicker hamper here I bought, I can't remember where I bought it from actually. I think it was online. And then this little chaise I bought from an antique shop in Chichester, just down the road. It's about £100. This rug is from a chap called Barry, and again, he is at Ardingly Antiques Market. I like it. I bought a couple from him that day, and that just sort of sits out here in the entrance hall really nicely. Such a lovely day out there today. And that's it. That's the little tour of the entrance hall, Cosy Book Nook. If there's anything I've missed out of this and you can spot, then let me know and I'll go back to it. But it's quite nice for me to do these things and show you, because I do an inventory of what I've got in the house. A big fly has just come in from the garden. It's like buzzing around my head. It's one of the hazards of living in the countryside. But I'll continue to do these little tours as I work on little corners. I'm doing that a lot at the moment because we decorate the cottage so much for Christmas. So you'll see a lot more of the cottage as we get closer to the big day. What I'll try and do now is upload how I decorate this space for autumn and Halloween, or how I have done in years gone by. if you're watching this on a Sunday or after, because I publish my blogs on a Sunday, my vlog, sorry, then by now the Cozy Soup course will have been published. The Cozy Soup course is a course that I had an idea for when I was on holiday this year. And I put a call out on social media on TikTok. So there's about 800,000 of us over on TikTok. So join me over there if you're not following me over there. And I also put it on my Instagram stories. And I said, look, if I was to create a course that showed you how to make the most popular, most delicious, most tasty soups, would you like it? And there was a resounding yes, which was amazing. I think it was about 96% of people that I asked said yes, they would like this Cozy Soup course. So that's what I did. I thought that this project would take me 2 weeks, and it's taken me 2 months. It has been mammoth. I don't know whether a bit of perfectionism kicked in, which was sort of disguised as, or it was procrastination or fear disguised as perfectionism, which is usually the case. But I worked through it, or maybe in this case, I didn't quite know how much I had bitten off. But anyway, it went live on Friday evening and it's there, it's ready. It's called the Cozy Soup course. What you get, it's a video course, but you also get full written and printable ingredients, recipes, all of that. So you've got 12 soup recipes and 3 stock recipes. So there's 15 videos all in all. It's taken me out for quite a while, so it's taken a long time. But I think that the quality is really good. I think that the teaching is very thorough, and obviously you get all of the printables as well. So for all of that, it's £20 and you get to keep it forever. I asked my followers on Instagram and TikTok what they would pay for a course like that. And the average was £40. I felt that was perhaps a bit steep, so I halved that and I'm charging £20 for it. I don't care too much. I don't want to undervalue it because a lot of work went into it, but I also want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. So I'll leave the link for the course below. You've got some amazing soups. You've got all of your stocks, that homemade chicken stock, homemade vegetable stock, homemade beef stock. We've got some amazing soups. What have we got? We've got regulars like farmhouse vegetable, carrot and coriander, broccoli and Stilton, but we've also got some amazing ones like restaurant style chicken and sweet corn. We've got a gorgeous one right at the end, which is going live in a couple of days actually, because the file got corrupted, which is celeriac, truffle and chestnut. So they sort of they run the gamut between really simple traditional soups and ones that are a bit fancier. My favourite, if I had to choose a favourite, is the roasted tomato and red pepper. Sounds incredibly simple, but what I love about, and it's ridiculously simple to make, but what I love about it is the depth of flavour that you can get in that soup. I have learnt so much making this course, I can't tell you. I've sort of remembered how much I love making soup. I remember what goes with what, it all comes back. I've been making soups for sort of 25 years now, and it all comes back. And I think that in this time of year, a soup is just, it's soup season. So it will take you right through until it gets warm again next year, which if you live in the UK is probably like next August. So if you want my Cozy Soup course, then I will leave a link to it in the description below. And if you have any questions, then just drop me a line. But I hope you love it. I've put that one to bed, taken a day off, and I'm starting on the next one. And I'm going to create just a library of Cook with Cherry courses. That's my goal for 2025, because I really enjoy doing them. And I think the possibilities for them are endless. And
I'd just really love to share what I know with you, because I know that sometimes if I put a video out on social media, you don't see it. And I'd like to sort of share the love in that respect and keep the price point as reasonable as possible. I've paid so much before for courses online, and yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about them, but I felt £20 was good for this one, and because this one had a lot of work. I've got an idea for a cozy drinks course. Now that won't be quite as involved, and the price point will reflect that definitely. But yeah, I'd love to see some of you over there.
So I thought I'd show you the next room I'm working on. It joins the entrance hall. My children are through there and they're being very naughty. Apparently I haven't run out of yap. I thought I'd show you the dining room actually. This is the next space that I'm going to work on for this time of year before Christmas. And I've done some little bits to it over the years, but it's sort of, we eat outside a lot in the summer, so it doesn't really get much use in the warmer months, but it comes into its own at this time of year. So let me show you around. So here we go, just off of the entrance hall, down this little bit here, and then into this room. So on this wall, I've got this cherry sideboardy type thing. I think this space needs a dresser. It's obvious that a dresser should go here, but I just haven't gotten around to buying one yet. I found one once a couple of years ago, and I should have got it then. I need this, something in here for storage. I'll show you why. I just keep all of my bits and bobs in here. Sort of glassware, jugs, pitchers, big serving plates, decanters, that sort of thing. And I like the top of it. I like the fact that it's deep, it's long, and I can keep things on it. At the moment, I've just got a pile of books that I was using for a shoot. I've got some soup bowls that were used in my cozy soup course, a cake stand, and some platters and another couple of cake stands. Up here, I've got a sampler, which is about, I suppose it's not old, it's about 30 years old. And then here, I've got a print of The Hunt. I don't even know whether it's a print, actually. I think it's a painting. I do know that it was extremely expensive when I bought it. It was many, many years ago. So I need this space here, but I think next year I'll start to look for a dresser. I think that would be a really nice thing in this space. There is a light on this wall, so I'll have to think about that. And the ceiling, as you can see, is not very tall. This is not a Georgian rectory. This is very much a cottage with low ceilings, which makes it really cozy. So about 2 or 3 Christmases ago, I put fairy lights on the beams in this room, and have kept them up ever since. I meant to keep them up. They were meant to be, permanent, because I think that, there they are, I think that fairy lights work just as well in the summer as they do in the winter. Fairy lights are not just for Christmas. And so this is what they look like on the ceiling. Now, what does have to come down is the bunting. The bunting was put up in the summer, as we had a few birthdays around that time, but that can definitely come down now. There are lots of these light fittings all over the cottage, and I'm yet to find tiny lampshades that I love. I've got one of my blue serving platters just under there, and I've got some plates on the wall over there. Do you remember when we spoke about Christmas jobs? This is the start of my Christmas jobs. Cleaning the copper. I've got some antlers on the window there that are very, very old actually. And I usually put those on the mantelpiece or on a table and decorate them with lights or sort of Christmas decorations. I also use them at Halloween, it's got to be said. This wall along here is just ripe to have lots and lots of pictures on it. So since I cleared that big corner out in the book nook, it means that I've found all of my picture frames and I can decorate, well not decorate, but I can hang my pictures up now.
So the table over the last week has definitely become a dumping ground, as you can see. But I know that the stuff's there and I can just pop it away and start to get going on this room. I like this room a lot. It has quite a lot of light because it's got the 2 windows there, and the view outside onto the garden and beyond is worth everything. It's the most amazing view. It's nice to see the seasons change out of those windows, and it's also nice to eat in here. So I save these little Muti concentrated tomato tins because I love the design on them and they fit on the tables in the deli really, really well. So let me show you what I'm going to make with them. So I've got some holly from just outside of the kitchen window. I've got a strand of ivy that I picked the other day with one of those little flowers on. They always remind me of the plates with the ivy print on. I think they're Emma Bridgewater. Love those. And then I've got some, it looks like heather actually, but I'm not sure what it is. So I've got my little pot there. I'm going to put the this little shrub here into there. And then I'm going to follow it with the holly. Very, very prickly. There we are. And then the ivy, that can go in like that. And I don't need the wire anymore, so I can get rid of that. That can go in there like that and hang out the front. And then I'm adding some colour with the rose hips. And then they can just hang out the front like that. I think it needs some more colour, so I will put one there. Let's see. Oh, like that. I shouldn't have done this on the tablecloth. And there you have it. Tiny, tiny little decorations for the deli tables. Very seasonal. I think it's very clear from this little project that I'm not a florist and I'm actually no good at anything like flower arranging, but I'm not letting that put me off. These little tins work brilliantly down at the deli because the colours work so well. And all of this holly and the rose hips, it's just that sense of bringing the outdoors in. It's an accent. It's not like a full table display. So if you're ever thinking of doing something like this and you start sort of second guessing yourself or overthinking it, remember this because it doesn't matter. I think this is really cute. I'm really pleased with it. It's quite cheery and they're going down to the deli. They even go quite well in the cottage. I'm obsessed. So if you see this woman walking around Petworth holding tins like this and looking very proud of herself, that's me. So here I am in my cosy little cottage, Book Nook, and I thought I would suggest an idea to you, suggest something to you that you might find fun. I thought it might be quite nice if we had a book club. So I read a lot. Well, I like to read a lot, but sometimes I get too busy to sit down with a book. I listen to podcasts. My school run is 2 hours driving a day, every day, like Monday to Friday, pretty much. So do you want to go out? Hold on, I've got to let the dog out. Okay, she's gone out. She will want to come back in again.
in like 5 seconds. So I'm in the car a lot, and so I listen to so many podcasts and so many Audible books. I'm constantly listening. I use the time actually to learn a lot about things that either I'm interested in or I've always wanted to learn about, and that's why I love podcasts so much. I've never ever really truly been interested in politics, but I started to listen to the Rest is Politics leading podcast, and I just found that the people that they were interviewing were fascinating. So all just stuff like that, really. And so I try and use the time as wisely as possible. But over the summer, I sat down pretty much and read A Little Life, which is literally 600 pages. And it devastated me because it's that kind of book. And I just thought, I have to get back into this. My daughter reads a lot. She's just like me when I was little, and right into, actually, it was up until the point where I had children. I would always have at least one book on the go, if not 2 or 3. And most of them were fiction. So I read a lot of fiction, and my life was better for it. I mean, it was just bigger. I read everything. I always said that if somebody came into my house and looked at my bookshelves, they would think I was completely crazy, because just of the type of books that I have loads of sort of self-help. I have loads of spiritual, like in every type of religion. I have autobiographies, I have biographies, I have, factual, but everything. But I just loved this experience of reading pure fiction again after so many years. So I was wondering if we could use this whole kind of cozy book nook thing to host a book club. If you would like that, I have a suggestion for the first book that we can start with. This is not too heavy a book. It is a ridiculously popular book. It is one that I'm certain a lot of you will have read, and I think I've done that on purpose because I want to hit the ground running with something that either people have read or they know about, one that you'll either love or hate, because I think it will open up a really good discussion. So we're going to start with Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club. We can go off on as many tangents as you like with the other books that we choose for our book club. The Book Nook Book Club. So it's a total tongue twister as well. But let's just start with this, deep in the heart of cozy season. So I've chosen a cozy book. We can't do A Little Life at this point. It's too traumatic. I found it too traumatic. But we can do this. This is cozy. If you don't listen to Richard Osman's and Marina Hyde's podcast, The Rest is Entertainment, I urge you to. I haven't missed an episode. In the summer, oh, look, the dog, hold on. In the summer when my car, say hi, Prue. In the summer when my car was shoved off the road and was in the shop for like 6 or 8 weeks or something ridiculous, I couldn't listen to the first thing I did when I got the car back was update and listen to all of the podcasts, The Rest is Entertainment, the ones with Richard Osman that I could. I caught up completely. They're very funny. They're very insightful. I love the entertainment industry. I think it's absolutely fascinating. There's the sort of pairing of Marina Hyde and Richard Osman is genius. They sort of spark off each other, but have such a mutual respect for each other. I think Marina Hyde is sort of deeply cynical, and then as a journalist, and then you've got the wonderful Richard Osman, who is just this joyful sort of everything is sunny type, but they're both very sort of grounded, and they're both so experienced in their field that you are listening to 2 experts, and it's just brilliant. So I'm starting with this, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Let's touch base. Let's circle back. No, I'll stop with the corporate lingos. Let's come back to this in a couple of weeks, when you've either read it, reread it, got a copy, listened to it, and let's start our Cozy Nook. I've forgotten the name of my own book club. Our Cozy Nook book club. Let's start it with Richard Osman's A Thursday Murder Club. And then I'd love to know your suggestions for what we should go on with. After that, we could do a Kate Atkinson, we could do Donna Tartt, we could do a classic, we could do an Austen or a Bronte, whatever you like. We're going into Christmas, so there might be some Christmas fiction. I also thought I would do 2 books per session, one fiction and one sort of more lifestyle-y, coffee table-y, because I have hundreds of them here. I love them for the sort of entertainment value and because they look lovely on my coffee table, but a lot of them are style over substance, but some of them are absolutely perfect and give you so much information, and you can really sort of expand your knowledge, you know, whether it comes to gardening or food, or we could do recipe books. We could do so much. The possibilities are endless. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to sitting in my cosy chair, my wing-backed Parker Knoll, in this lovely book nook and discussing books with you. It's one of my favourite topics, and I literally cannot wait. We're going to the National to see the new play with Emma Darcy, who we love, and Tobias Menzies. I'm a huge fan of Tobias Menzies' work, so this is really exciting. Have an amazing day, whatever you're doing, and thank you so much for watching again.